Hey guys, welcome back to This African Perspective. Thank you all for stopping by. Okay, so today the videos we're going to be checking out are videos about homeowners and how a lot of homeowners are actually giving up on their homes. Sadly, it is not even a situation where they had an option. It's just like, yeah, they made that decision to actually let go of the homes. For some people, it's not a decision where they made for themselves. They actually had to like leave the house and be evicted from those homes, because it's a struggle to make those payments for the house. Their mortgages has increased, the whole homeowners insurance and all that has to do with financing your home and getting a house for yourself. And we know that the prices for those homes have really increased than the way they used to be. And how many people who have bought homes years ago, they will clearly let you know that how much they bought the house before, it was far little than how it is right now for them, how much their house is worth. So we're going to be checking out this video so we can see what people are going through. Before we get right into this video, make sure you please click the like button. It really helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Let's get right into it.
Hi everybody. Me and my fiance bought a house about a year ago and we are selling it. I am a huge proponent of being open about finances and money and transparency and all of that. So I thought it would be fun to share our house selling journey. So we met with a realtor last week, I believe on Wednesday. And we talked numbers, talked about, what we owe on the principal of our house, all of that. We had professional photos taken of our house last night so that our house can go on the market and be listed this Friday. I was very shocked to see what the numbers looked like on Wednesday. So I thought I would do a little breakdown for everybody of what all of this is going to look like. We bought our house we closed on May 12th of 2023. So we've had it for just a little over a year now. We bought our house for $235 with a $5,000 seller's credit. So we used half of that $5,000 to buy down our rate from 7.2 to 6.5%. That's what our rate is. And then the other $2,500 went towards our closing cost. Our total closing cost out the door whenever we bought our house was roughly $12,000. Might have been a little bit more than that. So that's what we paid for closing costs, down payment. Our down payment was $10,000. The remainder of that was closing costs, which was really shocking. I feel like nobody really tells you how much closing costs are. They're very expensive. You have to pay for inspections and appraisals and all sorts of things. We had to have our house inspected twice because the tiniest thing can cause you to fail your inspection. We had a branch that fell from a tree and was on our roof. No damage, nothing, just a little branch that needed to be pushed off of the roof. We had to get re-inspected once that branch was removed. We couldn't do the removal ourselves. We had to have a company come out and do it for us. So out the door, we paid about $12,000. We owed, $230,000 on our house. Like I said, we've owned it for a little bit over a year now, and off of our principal, we have paid 1 month's worth of our mortgage. Our mortgage is about $2,050 a month. So we still owe about $228,000 on our house. Because our interest rate is so high, that's part of the reason we're paying most of our monthly mortgage goes towards our interest rate rather than towards our principal on our house. So when we sat down with a realtor last week to go over what we want to sell our house for, because our realtor is very good, the family friend, and they're very good about listing your house for what it's worth to get you the most money possible. 9 times out of 10, the house with this realtor will be bought for asking price. So we are asking for $259 on our house. Our take home from that will be around $10,000. If we sell our house for $249, $10,000 less, our take home will be $800. So we will be selling our house for roughly $30,000 more than what we paid for it, and we will only be taking home $10,000. That does not even cover what we put into it initially. It does not cover the work we've done on our house. We painted the entire house, have replaced faucets, hardware, countertops, sink, all of that has been replaced here. So that was very shocking and very eye-opening to me. That's why they say you shouldn't buy a house if you're not going to live in it for at least 3 years so you can pay down some of your principal. You walk away with more money. We are paying our realtor, their money comes out of what you make on the house. So our realtor fees for the buyer's realtor as well as our realtor that we're using to sell our house comes out to $12,000 roughly. So they're making more than what we're making. Granted, it's split between 2 people, so it's not really the same thing. But yeah, so I would love to answer any questions as we're going through this process. Like I said, our house will be listed on this Friday. We're gonna have open houses and people are gonna come see our house. So we have to be really diligent about keeping it clean, which our space is typically clean, but vacuuming every day, making sure the counters are clean, putting dishes away because somebody can come to view our house whenever. Of course, they give us notice and we can turn it down if we want, but we're trying to sell our house rather quickly. So we don't want to turn down very many tours. So yeah, I just thought that this is a very interesting thing for a 22, 23-year-old to be kind of going through and experiencing for the first time. And there's a lot of things that I certainly did not know when entering this process and, you know, going through it. Me and Hunter both, we did some research, but there's just some things that you don't know about until you experience it yourself. So I thought it would be really cool to share our journey in all of this, how quickly our house sells, what we end up actually selling it for.
I haven't said this before on TikTok, but I think the housing market could crash. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. In fact, I've been a real estate agent for 7.5 years who's yelled that the housing market's not going to crash. But I've had 3 conversations with separate people that have led me to the conclusion that we may be setting ourselves up to be on this Jenga tower that is set to fall. One, I had a conversation with a mortgage broker who said that for the first time nationally, we are now seeing a surplus in inventory month over month that match 2018, 2019, and beginning parts of 2020, which means inventory is growing and it's not getting eaten up the moment it hits the market. So we have growing supply. There's growing inventory. That was one of the first things that caused 2008. But how is that going to cause homeowners who currently have a home to have to move? Have you heard of what's going on in Florida? Because if you haven't, let me inform you. Florida has had a bunch of insurance companies come out and say, we are no longer covering your home because of hurricane. And due to that very fact, there's a lot of people who no longer carry home insurance and are being forced to move because the home insurance they could carry is so much more expensive. And the flood insurance premiums have gone boko crazy. And if you don't believe me, go to Florida on Zillow and see how many properties are listed, how long they've been on. Because I have a client trying to move from to Delaware, from Clearwater, Florida, and their home has been on the market aggressively priced for 3.5 months now with 0 showings, none. But the other 49 states should take note because mortgage companies were able to come in and say, you need home insurance. They've said this for a long time, but the home insurance companies are like, hey, we're not going to give it to you. So what did the homeowners do? They have to go to some third party, some other person, and they're like, we'll cover you for a premium. And what happens when people can't afford that premium? They are forced to move. And when no one wants to buy the home they're trying to move out of, you start to see a crash. Like what happened in 2008. Second, third, and fourth conversations I had were with insurance office owners. They were the ones who were able to tell me the exact specifications around what's about to happen in the insurance world. In 2020, car insurance took a dive. I wasn't even aware of this. People weren't driving. And so car insurance companies were like, hey, you don't have to pay us. It's okay. And they also were like, hey, you push back your mortgage because of that mortgage moratorium. You can push back your home insurance payment too. They did similar things with boats. They did similar things with ATVs and everything. I had no clue how severe it was and how much money they literally blew just to keep their clients. But all while they were giving discounts, the cost to replace everything was skyrocketing. I've now heard from 3 separate insurance company brokers that for the next 3 to 4 years, all of the big companies will continue to up their rates on an annual basis to get back to the point of profitability they were at in 2018 and 2019. So that means the cost of both of your cars just went up. Your premiums for anything you own outside of that goes up. And by the way, your mortgage is going up. Because your mortgage escrows in your home insurance as well as your taxes. And if the monthly debt goes up for all the insurance you carry, plus your mortgage goes up because the monthly insurance for that went up as well, how long does that have to happen before people are forced to sell? But even if it doesn't spread past Florida, Florida's going through it right now. This 4K camera is crazy. Holy.
So what is even sad about these houses, these prices that are actually increasing for people who have mortgages, who are complaining? You know, buying a house is like an investment. Like, the money can actually, your property value can increase, and it's like you don't have to pay rent. It's good when you're done. Everybody, like, you need to have houses. Sometimes, like, those are the things you pass down to your children. You need, like, real estate is good, okay? We know that, and many people have made so much money and have become so rich because of real estate. But at the same time, people who are buying houses who feel like, oh, you know, let's just do this, like, owning a home is really good. And then the people, their mortgages are increasing, their home insurance, it's like everything is just increasing. Their taxes and all is increasing on them. They're struggling. They're like, oh, you know what, I cannot afford this anymore. And then the people who are renting places are complaining and also struggling with paying rent because the rent prices keep going up. Then I'm like, where are people supposed to run to? Because usually when you're buying a house, like, it's too expensive for me, I cannot buy a house, your second option should be rent. And then you're going to rent is too expensive, is expensive, the prices keep increasing. Then what? Being homeless? Like, please, how is that an option that someone would want to even go to? So it's like, at least can we have like one option, like, okay, if we cannot do this, we cannot afford this, we should be able to afford the next one. But it's like, no, it's just like everywhere is just tight and so expensive and difficult to even say, oh, possibly you could manage this. No, nothing is manageable. Everything needs you to have so much money for it.
I am this close to just thinking maybe it is better to rent for the rest of my life than to actually own property. Which sounds sad to say, but hear me out. It has always been my dream to purchase my own home, which is the whole reason I even started working 2 jobs for the last 5 years, hustling my ass off because I want to purchase my home so bad. I feel like a part of me is starting to realize there's so many cons to owning your own home. For example, number one, if I were to buy it in California, I would have to have a 30-year loan. And I don't want to spend the next 30 years of my life paying off my home. That means I'm never able to just up and leave because now my home is here, my life is here. If anything goes wrong as a homeowner, I have to fix it, which could be so expensive. Roof, plumbing, maintenance, all of that, right? That's something I would be responsible for. If I move out of state though, which by the way, I can more than enough afford to pay off the home within like 5 years, then I had to pick up my whole life here, move it somewhere else, hopefully find a job over there. Even if I move it there, regardless, I can't just leave. Now my home is there. Versus if you rent, like if you rent an apartment, if anything goes wrong, you're not responsible. Also, you can up and leave whenever you want. You're not restricted. You can break the lease and you can move to another state if you please to. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So this message is for all my homeowners out there. How y'all feeling? Yeah, y'all got that email yet saying y'all property tax done increased this year? Yeah, that insurance rate just going up higher and higher, ain't it? Yeah. Yeah, we just got an email this morning saying our mortgage payments done went up substantially. Yeah, so at this point, Uncle Sam, I'm gonna need to see you outside because we gonna have to squabble. I'm gonna need that fade. Everybody talking about, oh, you need to buy a house. Yeah, until that mortgage rate go up. Till that escrow payment just skyrockets. Oh, man, and don't let nothing need to be fixed in the house. Yeah. You remember back in the day, you used to call maintenance, hey, maintenance, can you please send someone to 304? My AC unit is out. Yeah, let your AC unit go out now. You scared to call someone. You steady opening windows because you already know that bill gonna be higher than Smokey in the pigeon coop. Boy, I tell you. Let me know if it's just me who want to put hands on Uncle Sam. Let me know. I'm just checking on y'all. I'm praying for us.
I'm selling my home after being a homeowner for only 1 year, and here's why. Saying I'm a homeowner is a lot better than actually being a homeowner. There's a lot of work that goes into maintaining a home that I'm just not willing to do, to be honest. Also, I prefer living in an apartment because of the amenities. You have parking garages, you have security, you have a pool, you have trash pickup. And then I'm a mom, so as far as safety goes, like I could live on the second floor, the third floor, fourth floor, and I wouldn't have to worry about someone like getting into my home. Like I just feel like it's a lot more safer. I've always felt a lot safer. When something goes wrong in your house, you are responsible for fixing said problem. When you live in an apartment or when you have a landlord, they have to handle maintenance. You can pick up the phone, hello maintenance, help me. When you have your own home, You could have a warranty, but there's oftentimes a deductible associated with that warranty. It's just it's a headache. It's a true headache. My neighbors in my community suck. Like I have a few good neighbors, but I have a few not so great neighbors, and it's just, I don't know, I just feel like it's not worth it to settle and live around people that I don't want to live around forever. I don't know if I have ADHD or ADD, or I don't know, but like also too, I'm not the type of person that wants to like sit in one place forever. Like I love movement. Like I don't want to be in one place forever. So, and I have commitment problems. So I can't commit to one place. Like that's just not for me. So long story short, another huge thing is your mortgage changes. Like obviously I factored this in before I purchased my home, but now it's getting to the point that my mortgage is going up because of taxes, but it's like how your rent goes up and you don't see any changes, right? My mortgage is going up, but I'm not seeing any changes. I'm over it. So long story short, being a homeowner is, people have always told me like, oh, buy a home and just rent it out. And the reason I'm not renting my home out is because for me, I just feel like that would be an even bigger hassle, because if something goes wrong, I have to fix it immediately. If they tear up my entire home, I have to fix that. And I get that there's insurances and there's all these caveats, but again, that's extra stress that I truly do not need right now. So long story short, I wanted to be a homeowner before I became a mom. I became a mom at 31, wanted to own a home. Around that time I did. I was a homeowner by 30. 31 now. I'll be 32 in a few months, and I just want to be done with this. I don't want to be a homeowner anymore ever again. Like I'm not interested in it. And my advice to anyone who is like wanting to be a homeowner or feeling bad that you're not a homeowner, take your time. Take your time. Enjoy those amenities at those apartments. I was gonna ignore this comment until 5 minutes ago. I just saw on my For You page a non-black girl complaining about buying her home and how it's now full of termites, and all of these other non-black people in the comments sharing the same sentiment of how they hate being a homeowner. Saying that to say, if all you're seeing is one group of people complaining, maybe diversify the accounts that you interact with so you can have a more diverse For You page. Hope this helps.
So I have a homeowner friend, and the day she had a problem, her refrigerator had an issue and she needed it to get repaired. And you cannot believe what happened. Honestly, like the guy who came to repair the place for her stayed for so long. And I've heard somebody say sometimes people who do repairs, like be it for tech or some people who just come and do some repairs around your houses, they can deliberately take so long, which is something that they kind of do among themselves, where they take so long to repair your stuff because they know you're paying them hourly. So they would stay so long with something that is so little that they can repair in just a short period of time, but they'll make sure that it takes so long. He needed to repair just a little stuff for her, and he decided to take so long. And he was just talking about it, trying to educate her about where it needs to be repaired. And it's like, just hurry up and do this because every hour you're spending here counts. After he finished, he got done. He said you could have replaced this and bought a new one for cheaper than that. And it's like, wow. Like, you could have just said that to begin with and we would have already done that. To be honest, like this, I'm telling you, sometimes like with the repair people, like shout out to them, like we appreciate them a lot.
We bought our house in 2018, and if we were to buy it today in 2024, we wouldn't be able to afford it. In 2018, we paid $370,000 for it. We just got it appraised, and it is now worth $720,000. We did a VA loan, so we put 0% down. Today, we would do the same thing, VA loan, 0% down. We've since refinanced it whenever rates became really, really low. But whenever we bought it at a 4.5% interest rate. That interest rate today would be 7.4%. So our principal and interest in 2018 was $1,874. Today, with that 7.4% interest rate, our principal and interest would be $4,985. Taxes in 2018 were $1,020 a month. And assuming that taxes would change, but with the sale of the house today, taxes would be $1,791 a month. So our monthly payment in 2018 was $2,894. Today, that would be $6,776. This is really sad for the younger generation.
Listen to me. I will never be able to afford a house. I will never be able to afford a house.
Home prices are rising nationwide as inflation remains stubborn and mortgage rates remain high as Americans compete for fewer available homes. Home prices in March were up 0.4% compared to February. Now that's the second month in a row that we have seen gains.
My parents' house that is $195,000 back in '96 is now worth like $500,000 to $700,000. My children will never be able to have the life I live because I can't afford to do it.
I don't think any of us thought when we were growing up that owning a home would be a luxury. Like maybe we thought it would be a bit difficult, but not like a luxury that basically only the rich will be able to afford.
No one that works a full-time job should be facing homelessness. And that's what my family is facing right now.
Being completely radicalized by the rental housing market right now, I cannot believe that you can pay over $300 in non-refundable fees just to apply for an apartment.
A big part of the reason why social life here in America is getting more and more difficult has to do with the fact that nobody can afford decent housing.
Everybody in America kind of knows, like, it's over. Like, there will be no recovery. Like, this is not like the other times. This ain't like 2008 where, we'll crash and then we'll get back up.
Because right now, this economy, this world is set up to make average American families fail.
And I'm appalled that our particular kind of capitalism not only fails to deal with the housing problem, but somehow routinizes it so that the homelessness is blamed on the homeless, blaming the victim kind of, because I can see why a society does it, because if you're such a failure at providing this basic human need, you better blame somebody, because otherwise you risk blaming yourself.
If I can get my hands on a nice lump sum of money, baby, I'm buying land in another country and I'm out of here because there's nothing left here but struggle.
Things I wish I would have known before I became a homeowner. The person performing the inspection does not work for you, they work for the real estate agent. Make sure to be a part of the inspection. The big questions I always ask, because those are going to be the biggest repairs. The age of the roof. Roofs usually last about 20 years. The age of the water heater usually lasts about 8 to 10 years. Age of the HVAC unit, because that will be a costly repair if it's old and if it doesn't work. If there is any sign of mold, pay that extra amount of money to do a mold inspection. The last thing you want to do is move into a home and find out you have mold and rotting wood. Check every handle, every single outlet, every faucet, flush every toilet. You want to make sure that the water is working, that the pipes are clear. When putting an offer in, you have to literally write out everything that you want in the home. Includes the appliances, the window treatments, the mirrors, because they will take anything that is not physically in the wall with them. If you do make an offer, I always like to make it contingent in a period so that, if there are multiple offers, yours is going to be the best offer. For example, this offer is only valid for 48 hours. If there is a counter offer, you can escalate it by like $10,000 and they have to make a decision in this 48 hours. If that unit has been sitting on the market for more than 30 days, there is a large room for negotiations. Also, flags of like what's going on with this property. You can always negotiate your closing cost, the percent that the real estate agents get, the repairs that need to be done. I bought a property when I was 25 without seeing the property in person, never was there for the inspection. So when I helped negotiate a new property, I learned my lesson and I'm teaching you guys everything I wish I would have known the first time.
Paying off for a home, another big fear of it is the fact that at any time, like you dare not lose your job. You dare not go a long time without working. You dare not be like, I'm not going to deal with this at work. I'm so annoyed with this work. I am annoyed at the way they're treating me. Or they even let you go without you even preparing for that. Because that's like, it's even a different case if you're the one who's like, this place is just too toxic for me and I cannot endure it anymore. No, when you have that, you need to pay that mortgage, you better take it. Like whatever you're going through. You cannot stay for so long without even having jobs. You cannot stay for so long and be like, I'm jobless, I'm unemployed. Because then you're going to lose your home. you're gonna lose the home you've been paying for so many years. And look at how many years it takes for people to be able to pay off a house that they're living in. You have to, the mindset of, I don't know why, like, I'm just not comfortable with having to make payments for stuff, like continuous payments, because it's like, I cannot lose that thing. To me, I feel like if I'm making payments for things, honestly, in my own mind, I just take it as I'm renting that place, like whatever, until I'm actually done making that payment for that thing. And I know that, oh, I'm not going to be paying I'm not going to be paying more, like a lot of money for that thing when I'm done making those payments. I do feel like I'm renting it. That's why, like, sometimes when people have this mind and be like, oh, you know, this actually belongs to me. No, it does not belong to you. To be honest, you're just a glorified renter. Like, you're renting that thing, to be honest, because at any time it can be taken away from you. At any time you can lose it. It might not be something you want or prepared for to actually lose. You're not the one preparing to actually lose it. You're not the one who wishes for you to lose it. Life just happens. Life be life, and sometimes things can just go the totally wrong way. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching this video to the very end. I really appreciate you guys for watching this video. Make sure you please click the like button. Don't forget to do that. It really helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to see what you think about this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.